through the debate. Recognize the member for Oshawa.
Thank you very much, Speaker, and I am glad to be able to add a few remarks on Bill 212 as it comes back to the House after a truncated committee process, a surprising committee process. This government had been talking about giving themselves the power to rip out bike lanes and do other various things, and yet we hadn't seen it in the original bill. Surprise, an 11-page amendment the day before we were to discuss and debate the amendments. So that whole giant 11-pager had never even come to the House for all of the members and the folks in Ontario to discuss. Interesting move. But, Speaker, I'm going to take the opportunity and walk through a little bit about this bill. This is a 5-schedule bill. The first one is supposedly building broadband faster. I do want to say we all want broadband built, and considering the fact that this government cannot get the funding out the door and that budget after budget after budget that money has gone unspent, we will believe it when we see it, but I would encourage them to actually come good on that significant promise. Speaker, this also has a section about building highways faster. Well, we tried. We brought forward at committee a series of amendments to designate other projects in the province as priority highway projects. Projects like Highway 11 and 17 widening project, the Highway 7 Kitchener to Guelph project, the Morriston bypass project, Highway 40 widening project, the Highway 69 widening project, the Cochrane bypass project, and the Highway 401 London to Tilbury widening and concrete safety barrier project. We discussed each of those thoughtfully, and the government voted against each one of them. What? Yeah, shocking. And those communities are probably quite disappointed to find out that each of those projects is not a priority highway project. We tried, though. So, Speaker, I'll move on to Schedule 3 of this bill, which is about the 413. And Schedule 3 would exempt Highway 413 from the requirement under a section of the Planning Act that ministry decisions be consistent with provincial policies and plans, which includes the Greenbelt Plan. One objective of the Greenbelt Plan is to ensure that the development of transportation and infrastructure proceeds in an environmentally sensitive manner. In other words, the current law effectively says you can build a highway through the Greenbelt, but it must be done in an environmentally sensitive manner. So they basically already had the power. So by exempting Highway 413 from the need to be consistent with the Greenbelt Plan, this government is explicitly saying it doesn't intend to develop Highway 413 in an environmentally sensitive manner. By the way, that's how they're going to invite the feds to make them go through the impact assessment process, because also Highway 413 will no longer be subject to the Environmental Assessment Act. The Environmental Assessment Act already allows the government enormous flexibility for streamlining processes. So they are bypassing the Environmental Assessment Act provisions. They are making sure that it isn't covered under the Planning Act or the, as I said, the Greenbelt Plan. So I really worry about what they have in store when it comes to the 413 and the environment. And we don't know. We don't know what it will cost. We have no idea. But I will say also that Highway 413 is now exempted from the notification and consultation processes required under the Environmental Bill of Rights. And I'll say that the Environmental Bill of Rights is a pretty proud achievement from the Ontario NDP government of yore. And the fact that this government is ensuring that it doesn't have reach over the 413 is shocking. It is disgraceful how this government has routinely violated the Environmental Bill of Rights that established the rights of Ontarians to be informed of and participate in decisions affecting the environment. Of course, the NDP vehemently opposes this section of the bill. Speaker, the NDP put forward an amendment to remove a subsection in this bill which allows certain activities to proceed before consultation with Indigenous communities is completed. The article, Highway 413 work could start before Indigenous consultations end, prompting concerns. That's not okay, and yet they've put it in the bill explicitly.
Against the law.
So, Speaker, moving on to Schedule 4, and I know that my colleagues are going to ensure that we get all of the voices that we can on the record about their bike lane attacks. But in this 11-page amendment, the government only considers vehicle traffic, not bike traffic. The government, interestingly, while it says that the minister shall remove the bike lanes on Bloor Street, University Avenue and Yonge Street, that they would have to approve various projects, here's just an interesting section that I'm figuring, since there's an election on the horizon. It says, for the purpose of ripping out bike lanes, sorry, that's my words, the minister may enter any place and use machinery, structures, materials, and equipment therein or thereon. So I imagine that because it literally gives explicit permission for the minister to what? Get on a backhoe and rip it out himself once this bill passes, that's going to be a heck of a campaign ad.
Bring the popcorn.
Listen, I'm not trying to mock this. This has been a heck of a shortened process with a lot of impassioned voices who are interested in safety, which, by the way, that word safety doesn't make an appearance in Schedule 4. I see members from the cycling community here in the House today. I want to thank them for being a part of this process. And, Speaker, this fight is not over, even though the government is ramming this through. We want to keep people safe in the province of Ontario. Thank you.